is a gauge cluster from the 1956 Mercury Monterey dash I put in the LUV machine. This was all cut out and I made all that in there. And you can see that's painted real nice. That's it's a Dodge Viper red. It's the color the truck's gonna be. And I also have this pretty cool steering wheel that I feel is gonna go just great in the interior of this thing. There's that. Got it from Contour. But my problem with it is that those reds don't match. And yeah, it probably look okay, but I gotta stare at this. That's me driving. And I'm gonna look at that difference and it is gonna drive me nuts. So today we're painting that red. So this here, Spray Max, is an actual 2K single stage paint. You can get it in any paint code. This is my Viper red. It's got activator on the bottom. Pop the little button out of the bottom cap here. Put that in the bottom of the can, push it in, and it'll release the activator that's in here into the paint. And it's actually been pretty good to me. I was impressed. So I do this sometimes when I don't want to break out the gun and do all that. I don't have to clean it and everything else. So it's pretty handy. And this is the finish that I got out of that. Was on this gauge cluster here. And as you can see, it lays out really nice. I'm happy with that. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna clean up that steering wheel, prep it for paint, and spray it with this and see how it turns out. But first, my dang mess. Get that dog in here to help me. There she is. Daisy. Say hi. Well, we got that heater warming up. Get all our stuff together here. The red scuff pad, mask and tape, fresh razor blade, wax and grease remover, plastic prep, paint, of course the steering wheel. Doing some research on these steering wheels and it looks like all these pieces are glued together. I was really hoping I was going to be able to take all these little individual pieces off, repaint the red and put it all back together, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. So I'm gonna mask all this stuff off, paint it that way. I don't want to say hope for the best, but I'm hoping for the best. So, well, we'll see how it goes. Alright, I got as much taken apart as I could. So moving on, I need to take my red scuff pad here, rip it in half, quarter, that works too. And I'm going to scuff up everything that's red on here. And what I'm looking to do is scuff that up to the point where everything is like that. Nothing shiny. We're gonna knock all the shiny off of it, so that way our new paint will stick. Man, we're really knocking the pretty right off this thing. Gotta be done though. Gonna look uglier before it looks better. Really paying attention to where I'm scuffing all these little finger holes on here. And I'm gonna be holding on to this thing the entire time I'm driving it all the time, so really want that paint to adhere well. So just taking my time, getting it all scuffed up, knocking all the shiny off of it. This is a lot of work when it was probably good enough to begin with. Not my style. It's gotta match. Gotta be perfect. Perfect enough for me anyway. Good enough for who it's for. Alright, I got all the red scuffed up. Every bit of it. So now what I'm going to do is go in the house and sneak it in the dishwasher when the wife's not watching. Kidding. I am going to wash it with Dawn in the sink though. Bring it back out, dry it off, blow it off with the air hose. Mask off anything I don't want red. And get to paint. Cleanliness is huge here. Get it all nice, cleaned up. And water will be your worst enemy. So now that I washed this, really paying attention to getting all the water out of every little nook and cranny on this thing, because it has a tendency to come out in the middle of painting and screwing up your whole day. Queso now. No queso. I don't like cheese. Shouldn't have said that. Probably just lost the few subscribers I actually have. Crap. Put my cheaters back on here. I'm starting to go blind in my old age. I'm going to start masking off everything here that I don't want to be red. So white and all this chrome, it's all going to get masked off. And I'm going to take my time with this. It's a whole lot better to take your time now getting this right than just have it looking like crap. With paint, it's all prep. If you slack on the prep in any way, whether it's scuffing it, masking it off, cleaning it, any of that, it's going to show up in your final paint job, and you're not really concerned about how perfect it is until your last coat, but you do have to take every step seriously. So I'm going to take extra time making sure all this stuff is masked off, so after I paint it, it's going to look like I took it all apart, even though I didn't. I take that back. I don't want this to look like I took it apart and painted it. I want it to look like I bought it this way. It's one rule of thumb I have when I'm customizing a vehicle is that if it doesn't look like I did something, if it looks like it came that way, I did a good job. So I try to keep that in mind whenever I'm doing anything. Everything needs to look right together. It needs to look like it belongs that way. It needs to look like I went and I bought it that way. Kind of funny to think that I do all this work just to hope that it looks like I didn't do it. But it's what makes a good car. All right, we're all masked off, cleaned up, scuffed up, all that stuff that needs to be done. So what's next? So I'm gonna give it another wipe down here and get out the wax and grease remover. And this is gonna remove any sort of grease from my fingers, wax, dirt, whatever. It's gonna really clean this surface up. Two things I'm doing here that normally I wouldn't. Ideally, you want to use rags that aren't going to produce any lint. These the shop towel rags do sometimes. And also with the wax and grease remover, I'm going to put it on one, I'm going to wipe it on the steering wheel, I'm going to grab a clean one, and I'm going to wipe it off. Normally you wouldn't want to do this right from the bottle because you can cross-contaminate things. So I'd go to use this another time and I got something from this rag in there. So this isn't ideal, but this is what I'm going to do. So got wax and grease remover, rag. All those areas that I'm going to paint on this wheel. Grab my clean, dry one, wipe it all over, wiping that all off. So put this paper down on the table. Trying to plan out my painting job. I don't have an air hose to manage because I'm using the aerosol 2K on this, but I still want to plan out how I'm going to do it, because the last thing you want to do is paint yourself into a corner and you don't know what to do. Now what I got set up here, so I got that sitting there. I'm going to be able to put the steering wheel on this. I'll be able to do a good coat on this side, flip it over, be able to do that side. Almost ready to paint this steering wheel. I got one more thing to do, and that's the plastic prep here. I'm going to spray this on the steering wheel, wipe it with a clean towel, and then go over it with a second clean towel and wipe it again. And that's going to prep this plastic to accept the paint. Got our paint. I'm gonna shake this up for a couple minutes, activate it, shake it up for another couple minutes, and we'll get to putting some color on that steering wheel. Okay, now we're going to release the activator. And push that down. And what that did was release a little bit of activator it has in here. And it'll mix up with the paint. Shake that up for a few minutes. And then the fun part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a quick, just real light tack coat, and I'm going to let that sit for a while, so that'll give something for some heavier coats to hang on to. So here we go. Let that one sit for a while, so that way when we come back I can do a nice wet coat on it. And it might only take one more, maybe two, we'll see. Okay, give it a wet coat, nice heavy wet coat. Here we go. Got a little hair in there. Here's a trick. Just take some tape, roll it up like that, sticky side out, a little point in there, and you can dig it out. This is looking pretty good. Man, you can paint your whole car with this stuff. Probably cost you twice as much, but you could do it. How about coat number 2? For all you guys out there that are gonna give me crap about wearing my PPE and all that stuff, you're absolutely right. I gotta get out of here. The steering wheel sat overnight and all day while I was at work. Let's go check it out. Looking good. Let's open this up, see what we got. Much happier with that. It's actually going to match my dash, gauges, truck. I like it. I think I'd call that another successful project. It's gonna look dang good in there. Subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. It'll help me out doing this channel. Hope you like watching my videos. I like making them. I'm gonna keep on doing it. Yeah, that's it. Take it easy.